Hi everyone. So I'm going to be discussing the difference between a hard disk drive and a solid state drive, as well as the difference between unallocated space and allocated space. So first, the hard disk drive is a metal platter with magnetic coatings, and it's used to store data. It's non-volatile storage because when the computer is shut down, the information remains on the hard disk. Unlike RAM, when the computer is shut down, all that information is gone. It's erased. The hard disk drive has a read-write arm that reads and writes information from the hard disk platters as they're spinning. So it's an actual moving part. Hard disk drives are a less expensive way to store a lot of information. The solid state drives, they're essentially oversized flash drives because they're made up of microchips, and it has a faster processor called the controller, and the controller's job is to read and write information in the microchip. Um, a lot of MacBook Airs have solid state drives because it's easier to transport. The computer is really thin. There's no moving parts, so it's like I said, it's easier for someone to pack up and transport the laptop. My computer is a Dell XPS 15 and it has a solid state drive. It's much thinner than other Dell computers that have actual hard disk drives. But anyway, hard disk drives and solid state drives, they have partitions, and the primary partition is created as a container for the file system. So when the hard disk is partitioned, that's where the file system will be created. That's where the operating system will write and read all its information. So unallocated space is essentially the free space on the disk drive, that doesn't belong to the operating system. And allocated space is the space on the hard disk that the operating system has already written a file to. So once a file is written to that space, no other files can be saved to that same location. Once a file is deleted, though, it immediately gets sent to unallocated space. So there's a few reasons why investigators would want to look in unallocated and allocated space during computer investigations. Files can be hidden in unallocated space. Tools like FTK Imager, you can data carve or file carve the files in both the unallocated and the allocated space. For example, text documents, images, pretty much any file that can be saved can be found in either the unallocated space or the allocated space. Another reason could be if the hard disk, if the computer repartitions the hard disk, important unallocated space might be preserved as unused. So it would be important to see if there's any leftover files there. Another reason could be that the computer might not have been used normally, so data could have been stored in the unallocated space. And experienced computer users know they would be able to save files there to hide them if they knew that investigators would be looking for those files. Also, the unused areas are they're on the smaller side, so you should just look at them anyway, just in case. If they seem abnormally large, then it should definitely be investigated. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.